What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing with you some easy, applicable techniques you could be implementing right now on your first date to instantly make it more successful, to make it easier to escalate, to ultimately get more success and help you convert these dates into lays, into relationships, whatever your goals are with women in dating. Okay, so stay tuned. Watch this video to the very end. I'm going to be starting it off with some easy techniques. I'm also then going to be talking about some painful lessons that I've learned from going on first dates and how you could avoid those mistakes and ultimately get some success the next time you go on a first date. Okay, so be sure to watch this video in full. And before we crack into that, by the way, I just wanted to say, if you enjoy this content, if you want to work with me personally to implement any of the techniques you've been seeing me discuss in these videos, click the link in the description, fill out the application for an opportunity to work with me personally. More details on that at the end of the video, but let's jump into this. First thing that you want to do, okay, is the moment the date starts, you want to be able to display a little bit of intent and a little bit of physicality. Okay, so the tiniest bit of intent / physicality the moment the date starts. And it's very simple. This is the problem that most men make. They don't do this. So right when I see the girl, the first thing I do is I make eye contact and I'm smiling. I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And I put my arm out to give her a hug. Right away. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Honestly, a lot of the time, I even do a kiss on the cheek the moment I see her. So I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Come here. Mwah. I'll give her a kiss on the cheek right away. If that's too far outside of your comfort zone, at the very least, guys, give her the hug. Okay, so I'll be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hug. And then right away, I'll pull her back. And this is where I display the tiniest bit of intent. I'm like, what's up? It's good to see you. Wow, you look super cute, by the way. I really like blah, blah, blah. Fill in that blank at the end with whatever you notice about the girl. She may have her hair done a different way. You really like her eyes. You like her outfit. You like anything about her that you notice the moment she's coming up to you. Okay, so that's it. Right off rip, you can see it's very simple. It's a hug and some verbal intent. And I never used to do this. And most of you guys probably aren't doing this either. Some of you guys are so awkward that you literally just be like, oh, hey, what's up? All right, you ready to like go on the date now? Okay, let's go in here. And you just missed a huge opportunity to get a little bit physical and a little bit flirty. And instead you were awkward. And now the girl feels awkward and you guys are going into like the bar or the venue. And now you're going to sit down across the table from her and be like, how do I escalate? This is weird. I struggle. If you do step one, guys, it makes the rest of the date so much easier because right off rip, it's clear that you're that guy. And these aren't hard things. You don't need to study a shitload of game to do this. You could go out and do this today. Just hug, kiss on the cheek. Wow, good to see you. You look super cute, by the way. I really like how you put your hair down. I think you had curly hair last time. It looks really cute with your hair down this way. I like that. Anyway, wait, have you been here before? This is like one of my favorite sushi spots. I give the physicality, I give a little bit of a line, and then I transition off of that and we go inside the venue or whatever the activity is that we're going to be doing. So that's the easiest thing you could do right now. First step. I promise you that's going to change your life. It's going to change your dating life if you're not already doing that. Step two that you're probably doing wrong, and I've talked about this several different times, is don't sit across the table from the girl. Okay? Don't sit across the table and have some boring interview. So tell me about yourself. What do you like to do? Okay? This is another foundation for a disastrous date. Because again, there's no way to physically escalate or get close to the girl at all when she's sitting across the table, and it just gives off that interview mode vibe. I typically like to pick dates where I can sit next to the girl. Maybe there's like a two-seater bench, or there's like a round table, or there's stools, or at the worst case scenario, if you're going to sit at a table, you want to sit at the adjacent spots on the table. Don't sit across, because at the very least, she could sit adjacent to me and I can still playfully tease her, touch her hands, push her away. Our legs are going to be touching. If we're on stools, it's super easy to put my arm around her. If we're on a booth, I could put my arm around her. I could playfully push her away. It's so much easier to escalate that way. Sitting across the table, zero escalation. Zero escalation. Okay? So that's the first two things. Even if you just did those, your life would change. Now, let's talk about the third one, and then I'm going to give you a embarrassing dating story that I once went through, and you could see why these concepts are so important. And the third mistake I think men make is that they don't have anything lined up after the date. or after the initial activity. They kind of just like, let's go out for drinks or let's go get food. And then they go meet the girl at the venue. They sit down across the table. They no physicality. And then when the date's over and they get the check and the girl's saying goodbye, the guy's like, wait, do you want to like go somewhere else? And the girl's already kind of like mentally checked out of it because you didn't run a good date. You didn't get her attention. You don't know what the fuck to do, clearly. So she's like, I'm out of here. So what do you want to do? Well, personally, I would seed the poll, AKA come up with an activity that you guys could do after that venue. It's either you go to another venue, either a coffee shop, an ice cream spot, dessert spot, somewhere to grab drinks, somewhere to do something, another place that has a nice view. Or what I like to do is do the activity back at my house. That could be smoking hookah, splitting a bottle of wine. Maybe I have dessert lined up at my house. Whatever the activity is, you want to have that idea lined up before the date ends. Don't wait until you get the check and you're walking out and you're saying goodbye to invite her to do the next thing. While we're at the first location, I'm bringing up that activity halfway through the date. Okay, we're vibing. There was some physicality initially. We sat down next to each other. We're vibing. I'm playfully teasing her, escalating a little bit. Maybe there was some flirtatiousness. And then halfway through, we're eating the sushi and stuff. And I asked her, oh, do you like wine, by the way? Why do you think I'm asking her that? I don't know. Maybe because I have a bottle of wine back at my house. Okay, or whatever the activity is, you want to subtly bring that up during the date because I want to suggestively recommend that we go do that thing once we finish the activity. I offer the opportunity for us to go do that once we finish here, but I don't wait until we're leaving to go do it. So you want to seed the idea. You plant the seed that we're going to go do that thing in a little bit. Those are the 3 easiest tips you should be doing right now to help convert more dates into more lays or into more relationships or whatever your goals are. Okay. So just to tell you a quick little story to bring this all home, because back when I was first learning this stuff and I knew nothing about dates, I struggled with this. Okay. So I would see the girl. I had a girl come over directly to my house one time. Okay. We didn't even go meet at the venue. I just brought her straight to my house. I remember opening the front door, no physicality, no hug, no nothing. I was just like awkward and was like, hey, what's up? Welcome. Come on in, make yourself at home. And then she came into the house. I cooked a little bit. We sat down at the dinner table across the table from each other. And not only were we sitting across, we were sitting like the long way across the table, like some old modern family shit. Like it was weird and stupid. And I'm embarrassed for even telling the story, but this is true. Okay. So we sat across the table talking from a distance. And then at the end of that, pretty much we just like sat on the couch away from each other. And ultimately I never made a move. And there was such an easy opportunity too, man. There's one moment where we made such easy eye contact and I knew I should have made the move. But the problem was I had never even initiated any physicality or displayed any intent or any flirtatiousness up until that point. So for me to lean in and kiss her in that moment was so much pressure that I pussied out and I didn't do anything. Okay. So I missed the moment, vibe fizzled out. And then at some point she was on her phone and was like, oh, I got to get going. Blah, 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 blah. And then I walked her to the door and then I ended the date with a hug. Instead of beginning the date with it, I ended the date with a hug close. And then she went home to never see me again. And I remember I was even like, text me when you get home. So I know you go home safe. Like didn't even get the text that she arrived home safe. For all I know, she didn't even make it home safe for that night. Probably because she went to some other dude's house, honestly. And I don't blame her. So if you want to get better with this stuff, guys, show some intent, a little bit of physicality, a little bit of verbal intent right when the date starts, just to make it easier to be that guy. Okay. The next thing you want to do is the positioning on the date. Find ways and opportunities where you can get closer to the girl. If you're at a venue sitting down, it's all about the seating. If you're doing an activity, ideally you pick an activity where it's easy to get a little bit physical. Like if I was cooking with the girl at my house, I'll show her how to use the chef knife, or I'll have her help me next to the cutting board while she's like cleaning the vegetables and stuff. I'll be right next to her so I can be close and touching and getting her accustomed to my physicality. And then the last thing you want to do is seed the idea of doing another activity. So if you're out at a venue, ultimately if you move to another venue or if you go to another location, it's going to give some fluidity to the date. It's going to make it a more memorable experience because you're doing multiple activities with her. Or if the second activity is back at your house, you're already in a better location for the escalation to happen and ultimately seal the deal. Okay. So these are easy, applicable techniques you can be doing right now to get more dates. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And by the way, if you're interested in taking your game to the next level, to achieve your goals with women and dating, to become more socially confident, to become smoother with your escalation, to get more dates, a bigger social circle, and really just dominate life, I can help you with that. I'm the guy for that. All right. I've made an epic transformation within myself over the last 10 years, going from that shy pussy that I was just talking about on that date, sitting across the table from the girl, to becoming one of the top guys in the industry about this stuff. Okay. So if you're interested in working with me personally in a mentorship, click the link in the description, fill out the application, and I will be contacting you personally to discuss further details. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, Coach Kyle signing out. Peace out.